Thank you. Men may dream about fathering boys, but what any man knows who holds his first daughter is that there is something almost holy about being a father to a daughter, a daddy's girl.
Most of bird hunting is like walking mile after mile of ditches as the afternoon slips by with milkweed and prairie grass bending low and long in the wind. It begins with a gentle shake. A voice breaks through soft-edged dreams. "Wake up, honey. Come on, time to go." With the house still quiet, my father pulls me from my bed. The world outside is tinged with blue, that midnight light that stays dense until dawn. The blue hour, I've heard it called. We drive through the fields of Iowa and South Dakota, the truck all a rattle and shake, along gravel roads to the rough plains land, where stolen songs, burned and broken, still rise and drum up in your chest until a chokehold grabs your throat saying, "Breathe, you fool. Breathe anyway, or die." And so you gasp, and the dog whimpers, and the truck stops, and out you tumble into the dawn, into the cornfields and soybeans where farmers have already set their hands to work, your heart beating hard in your ears. This is how you walk a ditch, consumer of what the road coughs up, things pitched out at interstate speeds left to sink in the earth and soften until they become mealy and quiet as a splinter under the skin. And if you fall, when you fall, a girl aged 11 or 12, your face comes down quick near barbed wire and cockleburr and concrete, jagged as can be. But my dad is there to lift me, and he stands me up too soon so that I feel silly in my rubber boots too big, like a marionette on long, long strings. I do a crazy dance that makes him laugh. I grin from ear to ear with spaces in between my teeth and no doubt whatsoever in my mind that the world is fair and good, that I am safe and deeply loved. In the last light, the dog runs out ahead. An explosive flush comes without warning. The blast quickens my blood. And down comes the bird, falling like music from the sky. No, not like music, like the absence of it, like a breath taken, a gasp, a turn, and silent to the waiting earth, its arc so graceful and brief. The bird falls. The dog comes quickly upon it, plucks up and returns the bird, tail wagging to the rubber-necked jounce of a green-headed rooster, eyes dazed, feathers all shades of browns, blacks, grays, and russets, its heart slowing in its chest. As my father claims his kill, he reminds me to respect what we've taken. By pausing and pointing and explaining, I nod, and the ancestors, seeing the lesson passed, smile and begin to stir the air around the unborn, making preparations, making room. The sun starts its famous slip from the Dakota sky to tuck in the fallow fields and potholes where puddle ducks tip tail end up like bobbers, back to the truck, bone-tired and calm now, with spent shells knocking around in our pockets. The dog is finally slow in his step. We head to the cabin where mother, rice, and gravy wait. I've learned something new today about the earth and what this balance is, where things must die to let others live, and even the most precious moments end. As we drive, I see mourning doves gathering along the road, collecting grit and sand for their gullets. I wonder why it is that creatures meant to fly must swallow stones in order to survive.
As I kneeled down to tie my shoe yesterday, memories of you coaching me to make loops cross over, under, and through trickle back into my mind. Dad, This is one of the million lessons you taught me as a child that carried over in today. You said something like, sweetheart, if you're going to tie a knot, make sure you do it properly, because if you don't, it could come undone, and so many falls can be avoided if you just follow through, always follow through. Knots, when tied properly, are like when I was 3, waiting at the door to give you a kiss goodbye every morning, and by the door to give you a kiss hello every afternoon, leaving you just enough time to put your stuff down and lay me against your chest like you promised you would at the end of every day and for the rest of my life, keeping me close to your heart, tucked within the apple of your eye. Knots, when tied properly, are the difference between me and my first heartbreak and it being the end of my world, because when I thought I had come all the way undone, your arms were there like loops, crossing over, under, and through my tears, wiping them from my face, telling me that if someone didn't see why the follow-through with me was important, then he was too blind to see the diamond within his grasp, the one that you raised. That night, Dad, you pulled the knot tighter. Knots, when tied properly, are like you and Mom approaching 28 years of marriage. You still calling her your bride at every chance possible. You still looking at her like it's the first time you ever saw her face. You still loving us like we were just born, hugging us with your arms crisscrossed in attempt to shield us from the perils life carries on its wings to all. You still being home whenever I need something to come back to, and if nobody ever loves me forever, I know you do. So whoever the theys are, they can say what they want. But I am the woman I am today because you tied the knot properly, crossed over, under, and through the foundation of my life. My husband will have a lot to live up to, and I will be the luckiest daddy's girl in the world if he is just half like you. Dad, thank you for teaching me to tie my shoes. But most of all, thank you for our relationship being the tightest knot in my life, because you always, always follow through.